Hi, I'm Kylie, and today we're gonna go over resumes. Mostly because I need to make mine and redo mine, and I have not in a while. So figured now is a good time since everybody is unemployed. It's always a good thing to learn how to edit them, and I helped people edit them for a while at one of my jobs, so I figured we could just attack them now. So let's get to it. I typically use Google Docs. One, because it always saves your work, and two, but that's basically it. I really hate when my work is not saved. We are going to use one of my sample resumes from the past. So for example, this one's gonna be bartending. A mistake a lot of people make is they do their resume, say what general skills they have, and then they just like send them out to every possible job within a 100-mile radius, and then they're baffled when they don't get to hear anything back. It's not because they're bad people or that their resume's bad or that they don't have the right qualifications. It's just all computerized now. It's all algorithm. It's all like how many words in your resume match with what the job description wants, right? So let's say you're applying for a job that calls for detail-oriented and compassionate people, and in your resume you have that you are precise and really caring. It's the same thing, but since you didn't use the same words, the algorithm is gonna be like, oh my god, this person's not right for the job, and then you're gonna be screwed over. So you don't want that. So what we're gonna do is kind of formulate your resume for each job you're applying to. Yes, it is a lot of work, and no, it is not a lot of fun. So what we're gonna do is just start from the beginning and go from there. So I would look at the job description itself as like your prompt. So let's go to this example. So let's look at this. Bartender, salary grade TBD. It's always a little risky, but you know, we need a job, so we're applying for it. We love helping people build relationships, discover new food and drink, and grow personally and professionally. So this whole blurb here, what from here's the scoop all the way down to extra awesome, this is all algorithm material. This is all stuff that you can include in your entire resume. You can like sprinkle it through there, here and there, to make the computer be like, oh, we like this person. We're gonna send this person to you, employer, and be like, here is a quality candidate, right? So what you're looking for here, let's go back to our resume. So we're gonna start looking for things on your resume that are already similar to what they've laid out here. So in terms of like personality things, you're usually gonna find those in the skills section. So let's go down. Proficient at Microsoft. I'm gonna already highlight this as something we can change because this job so far has not mentioned caring at all about technology, things like this. Comprehensive knowledge of liquor and spirits, that's gonna be something we want to keep in there. High excellence in customer service. They probably mentioned customer service, but we're just gonna keep that there. Ability to maintain quality communication with customers. Now this is where we can start including some of the wordage that the job posting used. So instead of saying ability to maintain quality interactions, you can say, hey, I'm able to laugh, I'm able to joke, I'm able to act like an actual human person. And they're gonna like hearing that more than I can communicate, yes I can. Like you don't wanna sound like a robot. They are hiring a personality, especially if you're doing customer service. So let's go back to our posting. You like helping people and you want to learn their names. So everything you learned about plagiarizing is gonna come into handy. Why? Because now we're going to plagiarize. Now this does not mean lie. Different than lying, because we're gonna put the things that are in here that actually apply to you. So for example, I enjoy the occasional laugh. I enjoy the occasional having fun. So we are going to put those things into our resume in the exact wordage that they used so the computer likes us. Right? Right. Managed, well organized, well run, bar top with personable customer service. Helped people find their perfect drink while learning the names of regulars. So what we've done here is we've combined love making regulars, helping people, and want to learn their names, right? Poured beer, opened wine, and made elaborate cocktails to specification. Oh, another thing. Let's say if the job posting said something wrong, grammar-wise, it doesn't matter. Basically just put it how they put it, because they can't get mad at you if that's how they put it. So care more about the algorithm than getting it right. Mixed, garnished, and served alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks for guests. We're gonna just put this honestly verbatim because this is exactly what I did at this job. Multitasked in a fast-paced environment. Helped to wash and sterilize stemware. I didn't actually wash it, but I helped, you know, polish and get the fingerprints off of it. Again, only copy and paste if this is something you actually did. If it's not something you did, don't lie, because you're gonna get into some really sticky situations. Man, are going a little crazy. You're gonna get in some really sticky situations when you show up for your employment and they ask you to do something and you have no idea what to do. So be honest, because it's also going to make you a lot more confident when you go in, because you're not having to go in under this pretense of, oh, I have to, you know, do this dance of deception for the next 8 hours. So just tell the truth and everything's gonna be, it's gonna be a lot better. Laughed. That's all I did at this job. I laughed. Okay, so obviously we don't like the way that looks. Let's get that Times New Roman and that correct font size. And keep those tenses the same. So if you said prepared in one bullet point, try to keep that, whether you're doing present tense, whether you're doing past tense, just keep it consistent throughout the thing. And especially keeping the format the same is important. So you noticed how in the beginning of each of these in the example, it's ensured, helped, prepared, monitored. Also focus on using managerial terms. So like oversaw, managed, ensured, provided, stuff that kind of implies that you were overseeing other people. It doesn't mean you were actually manager, maybe you're the bottom of the totem pole, but at every job you're in charge of something. So use the kind of verbs that infer that you were responsible for certain things getting done, because that also subliminally tells the employer that you've made yourself indispensable in a few ways. Monitored and ensured that no guest received more than the allowed number of specific drinks. That's exactly true, because if they got more than they ordered, then either they are stealing or somebody forgot, or we are breaking laws, and we do not want to break laws. Don't break laws. A lot of places have very strict rules on the alcohols. Oh, also see if there's any certifications that they really want. That's important. And if you ever have a question, just Google it, because I don't know if team player is hyphenated. So usually I just type it into Google and I see how it shows up. And on the first page, if sometimes it's hyphenated and sometimes it's not, then I usually just assume that the world hasn't figured out what the correct way is and people can get mad at me for it. So that's typically what I do. Team player. Looks like we guessed right. Sweet. So this is kind of your objective summary. People have different opinions on this. I don't think whether or not you have an objective is going to make or break your application. So if you want to put it, have somebody look it over, but I use it as an opportunity to include more verbiage from the job posting, so you can just get put higher on their list. So also reading things aloud to yourself at a normal pace is the best way to proofread anything, because your mind, the good thing about your mind is that it will literally like fill in words when you're reading, even if it's not there. But the bad thing is that it won't tell the other part of your head, hey, it's written incorrectly, we need to change that. So read things aloud in a space where you don't feel weird to read things aloud to yourself. And going, see any jobs as a bartender which I can use how many skills does not count at all. Just saying, it's a very good idea. Seeking a job as a bartender in which I can use and hone my skills, use upselling and suggestive selling techniques, if I said selling enough, and laugh and joke with customers, all while making spectacular drinks. The third part might seem a little weird, but it's what they want. So it's what we want. Education, la da 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 da. Doesn't actually matter too much for bartending. They're like, hey, are you a carbon-based organism that can pick up a cup? Sweet. I'm kidding. It's harder to get jobs sometimes, but they don't really care about your education for the most part. They mostly care where you've worked beforehand. Okay, guys, I think this doesn't look half bad. So that's just a little bit about just making your resume a little bit more spiffy, making it a little bit more likable to whatever algorithm you're doing. I'm pretty sure this is the same way it works for most online job recruiting sites, whether that be ZipRecruiter or some other ones that you frequent. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that they can read it and that it's understandable, because for the most part, they're gonna be glancing at it for a few seconds anyway. So just make it boom, bitty boom, bitty boom. Don't make it any harder for them to analyze what's there, or else they're just gonna get lazy and give up. Not because your employer is lazy, but because people are lazy. And if something's hard to read, we're gonna be like, why did you waste my time with all of this cryptic nonsense? So yeah, let me know if you have any more questions about resumes, and we will figure out how to end our sentences. We will go over your questions. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.